My dear Father, within the child of my light, render your peace within my soul. Show me the way of my own inner choosing. Balance and come within my intuition, and allow me to be free. Inside myself as one, I have made my choice of love to be deeply embraced throughout my precious life. And I will stand tall, and I will stand strong. God be blessed. God be willed. Amen. And with this prayer, it allows us to be free. When I say free, we're opening ourselves to the freedom of the divinity of which we are. So we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that a supernatural moment may occur, and that the Holy Spirit comes through, and those that are here to aid us, because they come in many shapes and sizes, can have an opportunity to speak with us. Greetings, greetings, greetings to all. Grateful are we for this opportunity to be present with so many like-minded individuals. In the coming changes, as you sow here amongst yourselves and the fears and worries and woes of the human race, we would say unto you, fear not, dear ones, for there is nothing to be fearful of. For is it not each of your desires to evolve and to expand your understanding, to move beyond this current realm of which you have taken part? Each of you have come into a greater place within yourselves. You have suffered calamities. You have seen environmental shifts and changes, be they fires, volcanic eruptions, even the flooding of waters. Many of you have seen these changing times and have wondered what is to come. We would say transformation, dear hearts. Transformation is to evolve and to grow and expand. It is our deepest desire to see your population move into a greater capacity to accept that which they are, their divinity, their true essence, their spirit that resides deep within them, that has been masked throughout the ages through a deceptive nature in polluting the thoughts and minds of each of you. You have moved into a state of polarity, shall we say, where you are constantly in the emotional dynamic of what is a negative and what is a positive. You look at life through the glass of it is either good or bad. And if I were to say unto you, that is not the case, you would have difficulty in believing it. But we who gather together amongst you, we who are always by your sides, ever watching and observing your expansion and understanding, as you discover new portions and parts of self, as you come into a place of a greater capacity to guide and grow. In so doing, you discover who it is you are. You are more than the human form of which you have undertaken. Yes, you are more than the physical matter of your bodies, this elemental structure of which you have perceived yourself to be. And if I were to state unto you that you have the ability to transform this body in a very instant, you would have difficulty. It is I that creates a change, the I am within you, each of you. In the moment that statement is made, a grand transformation begins. I am this and I am that. And what we have observed is many I ams in a negativity. Many I ams said to the destructive portions of the body, not the evolution thereof. So, if we were to gather together in the collective groups that we had mentioned in the week past, and began to say, I am the light of truth, Truth therein would reside amongst you. Truth therein would expand throughout your planet. There would be truth spoken amongst all powers, and the light of truth would be given unto all. There would be no deceptive nature, no misunderstanding. Each of you would know it, for it would resonate within your very core. Your physicality would know it to be true. There will come a time when the energies have shifted in such a way that when an individual begins to speak or articulate in any form, a falsity of any kind, it will be noted. It will be heard before spoken. This individual chooses to be deceptive, and therein you will know that person has yet to evolve. And you have your part as the teacher, dear heart, not as the persecutor. It is your opportunity to listen to that which is spoken and to assess whether or not that which is spoken is coming from a fearful state of showing their true identity, who it is they perceive themselves to be. For only that which is spoken is coming through the eyes of experience, the eyes of that which they have understood throughout time, as you so know it. Yet we would say unto you that there is a greater capacity than that. For in that spectrum that you perceive as time, the beginning of your life and the end therein is non-existent. For you are life after life after life, eternal in nature. It is a desire to return to this mundane sphere, to evolve and expand your understandings, to grow in your capacities to be more than that which you have perceived yourselves to be, to brighten the diamond that resides within you with each and every moment of experience. It is this earthly sphere that has termed it a negative. Yet we have often spoken to the child that you call Rosa and many call Rosa Maria, that these portions are only to evolve the spirit, to discover a greater truth of the capacity of which each of you have. You experience that which you draw to you. Many would say, no, this person is my responsibility. This action was caused by another. We would say that evolutionary part is two forces mirroring one another that have drawn forth a unity of vibration and thusly created an environment where each individual in their interaction will have an opportunity to experience transformation and change, an expansion of their current state of being. We say unto each and every one, do not judge yourselves harshly, for there are no errors, only an expansion of understanding, a growth in your capacity to learn the power that resides within you. And it is a power indeed, dear hearts. It is a power of grace, of light, of love, and yes, dear hearts, freedom. Freedom from your mortal understanding of limitation. You are moving into a state where, with your minds, you have the capacity of creating that which you desire, that which you would like to come into being. And this has always been present, though the mind of humanity has found it limiting For there are forces that would choose to darken your spirit, to limit your availability to such a commanding force. And may we say, those times will change, and they are in this very moment. Each of you must focus your attention on healing your earth. In so doing, you begin to heal yourselves. You begin to grow and understand how it is you are to participate in the evolution of each and every human being upon your earthly sphere. None will be left out in their expansion. Will one jump from a third dimension to a fifth or sixth or greater in dimensional experience? Only those who operate in the highest state of consciousness and release themselves of limiting thought forms. There are questions of this nature that have been asked of the child, and we will aid in answering them. We will aid each of you in your growth, as we have for many lifetimes and continue to do. For you are deeply loved, you are greatly loved, and your understanding for growth and your expansion of understanding for one another must also evolve. How would that be? That the individual standing before you, be they male or female, young or old, that you see them as a wisdomatic instructor, someone to allow you to see a part of self that had yet to be seen, and to recognize the divinity therein. For each and every individual present before you is simply a reflection of the divine God. You are all facets of that one and same, and your collective consciousness, when united with the stream of knowledge, will bring forth great wisdom unto each of you. You will expand in your understandings. You will grow in your nature. You will have the capacity to be all that you have ever desired, including in your physicality, for there have been some that have been concerned about this time alone in your homes, where you have found yourself gratifying the body with food and substance. This is a desire to subdue a nature within you with this gratification, with this consumption. It is to allow yourselves to take part of time within your very being, to notice how it is your body is speaking with you, how it is communicating, that you may transform those areas that were aches and pains of the past and release them forever, dear ones, for they are no longer required. It is your desire to hold on to a past event or experience that has limited your ability, your understanding, and therefore you must come from a place that allows you to be more than that which was, to begin to envision a future that you so desire, a future that enables you to be so much more than you are now, as you see it, for you are greater indeed than you have been led to believe. We thank you for having this time with us, for the many blessings that are offered unto the child, for the many blessings that the child offers unto the world. For it is her deepest desire to serve the Creator, Father of the universe. It is the purpose of her being, yet she has still to evolve into its understanding, for we have hidden her greater power for a short time. Her deepest desire is to be in relation, to experience the capacity of love, that one might love her deeply, without question, that one might experience the capacity of love at a deeper level than in human form that has been the conception of earthly understanding. For many of the human race have perceived that love is the expansion of a sexual or sensual nature. And we would say unto you, that is but a part, for greater is love than this. This is a small portion of your earthly realm and continues to be subdued within you. We would say that each of you have the same desire to experience a love profound. What is our answer unto you? It is this, dear ones. Love thyself above all things, not in a selfish manner where you find yourself oppressing another, but loving that which you are and recognizing the love of those that stand before you. Whether you understand the conception of their love, for it has been their experience that has brought it forth. It does not nullify that love. Love does not have dominance or control or power or oppression. Love is given freely, and it requires not acceptance or expectation. This is what we offer you, a love without end, a love that continues to expand, for it is our deepest desire that you would return and be once again amongst us, for you have been gone for some time. In your forgetful natures, you have forgotten where you have come from and where you will return to. Yet we are here. Many of us gather. Many of us come forth to be of aid. And yes, dear hearts, many from different regions of the universe, regions yet untouched by mortal consciousness. Yet those regions do some herein reside. You were sojourners, pilgrims, shall we say, on the evolution of this earthly plane. You accepted the call and you came forth, bearers of light and truth, expanding the consciousness of this planet, evolving its creation, subduing its nature. This is what is termed in your biblical references as what humanity had the power over and dominion of. For it is your thought that creates a reality. And in a moment, your thoughts could transform this entire earth into its pristine Eden once again. And it takes but 1% of you, 1% of the world population to transform. And we have spoken of this year after year after year through the child in her teachings. That is not many people, is it, dear ones? This is why we mentioned in the week past that each of you gathering together in a meditative state, taking the capacity of your breath and bringing an awareness therein, the inhalations and exhalations, the depth of which the breath enters into your lungs, into its very base, and out from you to be expelled into the ethers that surround you. With each and every one of these breaths, you begin to transmute your environment. Yes, you say, I breathe in air which contains oxygen. And there, when I breathe out, I expel something that is not healthy for the physical body. Carbon dioxide, is it not? Yet your environment thrives in such. The leaves of your trees and the blades of your grass, they transmute such into an energetic ether that allows you to breathe cleaner air and to feel the essence of the environment that surrounds you. This is why we state in your natural habitat, not the structures of which you've created. In your environment, should you choose to sojourn in a forest or by the sea, you would feel the resonance of these frequencies around and about you, for they do penetrate your integumentary systems, your skin per se. In a walk by the shore, you will hear many tones, and yet in your understanding, you perceive them as the octaves of a piano with simply 88 keys. And we would say to you, they are far greater, dear hearts. The wave in itself, and the crashing upon the sand, and the sifting of the sand, and the recurrence of the wave onto the water, and yet again it comes, with the breeze in the air, and the sounds of the birds, the crashing of waves against rocks. Each of these bring forth a different resonant frequency, all with the purpose of purifying the body. Some of you may find yourself in that walk where you would lie on the beach and find yourself asleep. This is so that the body may regain its balance, its harmonic resonance, its unity with nature. It draws you inward. It purifies you, dear ones. The same is done when you sojourn into the forest and hear the crackling of the trees and branches whisking back and forth, in the slightest of winds, the leaves crushing under your feet as you walk a path, or the gravel of the stones beneath your feet as you walk upon them. Be they with shoes or with bare feet, it matters not. It is the capacity of the individual to integrate its environment. Nature has much to teach you, for that is where you originated from, dear ones. It is where you have all resided in the past. In your expansion of selves, you have created the structures to protect you from this environment. Yet we would say, even with the structures that you have, we would suggest you continue to sojourn into nature and discover what it will teach you, for it is preparing you for the times that will come. And these breaths are extremely important. And the collaborative activity of the groups that gather in a meditative state is of the utmost importance to your planet, for it will create within it an opportunity for many of you to evolve. Yes, dear heart, you will move in dimensional experience, and it will be transparent, shall we say to you. It will be as if you were walking in the forest and suddenly you were no longer where you are now, but somewhere else. That is how swiftly it will occur. And it is written in your book, your biblical reference. There were 2 in the field and 1 was taken. Where did they go, dear heart? They were still tilling the field. They simply were not where you thought they were. They were not written in this time, but in a new experience, a new place, because of the purity of their heart, the cleanliness of their mind, the amplitude of their spirit. It allowed them traversing time and space and to move from this realm unto another. These are coming events. Be prepared, dear hearts. Do not be fearful, for these are joyful times. There will be many unveilings. You will begin to see beings from other regions of your universe. And you have been told to fear them. We would say, do not fear them, for they were part of the seeding of this planet indeed. Some of them may even be relations that you have forgotten, but they have not forgotten you, for they are constant and continuous. Yes. In the same manner that gratitude is constant. Their faith in belief and trust in your return is what they desire most. So as we step into another time, we will allow the questions to be asked and we will return. Once again, we greet you. Once again, we are here. Ah, yes, the 5G question. This is one that we had spoken of in the week past. We were talking about the coming changes, the impact that such a vibration would integrate into your human consciousness. We would say unto you, dearest Elaine, that the information regarding the 5G is being correlated to this virus. It is not one and the same. It is uniting in an effort to subdue the impact of that which occurs environmentally due to this integration of frequency and vibrational change within your environment. In other words, your COVID-19 is simply the mask or the disguise for such an environmental change. The 5G does amplify the frequency of your planet and its capacity to move into a higher state of being. It is 100 times more expensive than your 4G integration. And can you imagine that growth? And we will correlate this, though we would say to Renee, these will correlate to future questions that would be asked and we'll answer them accordingly here, for they are integrated as well. Many of you have requested answers and understandings of your 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, and 5-dimensional aspects. And we will say, let us align the 5G with such. In a 3-dimensional experience, you are able to measure it mathematically. In that mathematical endeavor, you are to look at it in its dimensional experience. You are to see its length and its width and its height. You are able to measure it, are you not? And in a 4th-dimensional aspect, you are looking at the same aspect, only it is doubled. You are interlinking its cubical form and integrating so that you might see more layers of the same. This gives you your 4th-dimensional experience. It is an amplification 100 times the 3-dimensional understanding, as is the 4G to the 5G, is it not? When we move into a 5th-dimensional understanding, we are bridging the gap. We are moving from what you would perceive mathematically in understanding into the shifting of consciousness. We are moving into an environment where consciousness is the magnitude of all that is. We are taking the matter that is your brain and we are moving into the mind, dear ones. The mind of humanity that is possessed in the thought forms of which you are. In the same magnitude that 5G moves 100 times its capacity of moving energy and information, both in the physical form as well as in the computerization and devices that it can integrate, the movement of vehicles and the knowing of locations. This is the manner of which the 5G is operating. It is allowing a global amplification of the whereabouts of each and every individual apparatus and person upon your sphere. When we move into a fifth dimension, we are bridging the gap. We are moving into the understanding of consciousness, and we supersede any artificial intelligence, for we are the commander of our consciousness, and our thoughts are greater than any mechanical device. Any machine that might have known all of the capacities of what humanity now understands are captured in a computer system that communicates throughout your termed World Wide Web. And it is able to function with an understanding based on its mechanical integration of all the knowledge of all of the individuals that have partaken of the wisdom herein. In a fifth dimensional aspect, the soul of the human being is moved into the consciousness of thought, and in thought is able to create new outcomes, new insights. Mechanical devices are unable to do this. It is humanity that is co-creator, and with this capacity has the ability to move multi-dimensions. This is our desire when we had spoken to you to move from the third past the fourth and into the fifth dimension. It is our greater desire for you to be in the sixth dimension and perhaps even higher. But that is of your ability to integrate the consciousness to move into a state of enlightenment, knowing that you are all knowledge, for you are a divine spark of the living God residing within this earthly environment, and you have the capacity to move beyond your physical form into the ethers and return, to resurrect your bodies from the dead, as you would say, to create eternal youth simply by thinking it. You have all these capacities, yet you have been taught that they are not so, and you have been trained to celebrate age. The moment you choose to not celebrate aging, you will not age any longer. Perhaps you should celebrate eternal youth, and therefore you will be, as always, eternally youthful. We believe that has answered the question. We will allow the child to return. Good day, and back are we once again. So excited to see you. We appreciate the questioning in regards to who it is I be. You see, the higher understanding that the child spoke of earlier would be a best amplification of this truth, for we are not residents of your physical sphere, yet we do understand its connectivity to the universe and the amplification of its vibration therein. At one time in my experience, I had resided upon your earthly sphere. It was much different than the time that you have now, and we were a much greater and grander beings than you see yourselves at this time. We were not subdued by the mind of humanity at this time. We knew the capacity of our thoughts were greater than any opportunity that would present itself. We were individuals of science and mind. We could create structures and environments simply in thought. These were the beings that we were at the time we resided upon your earthly sphere. There are many that evolved in that time, and many different beings from regions throughout your universe that had resided amongst you. This is why we state that each of you are but a part of that populace, a part of those beings, a part of their understanding and their truth. You may consider yourself human beings, but in truth you are beings. And if you would simply be, this would be a greater capacity for each of you to be. Be who it is you are. As Ahnahara, I, in your human understanding, evolved upon your earth, attained the capacity of great learning, was familiar with your seas and oceans and mountains and regions, though the environment was much more nitric oxide at that time that we were amongst you. We began to create environments of flora and fauna, aiding one another through our growth, through science, creating many of that which you experience upon this earth. For we, too, were co-creators with God. A mission to create an environment that would sustain many different creatures, shall we say, upon your sphere. A library of evolution, an environmental apothecary of health and well-being. For many of you do not realize that amongst you resides the wellness that you so desire. It is trapped in the flora and fauna and herbs that reside near your homes. Your earth has transformed in a great way, where the movement of fruits and vegetables have traversed different regions, yet you have not realized that the vibration of those regions comes with that fruit and fauna. And if you are not of that region, it affects your body, your physicality. For each was put in place to aid the region of the world of which it was created. And therefore, the region of which you were yourself created, the point of your inception into your creation in the womb of your parents, and even in their sojourn to another region, should you be chosen to be born there, as was the case with your Jesus of Nazareth, was it not? It is to bring a vibration to a location. In so doing, upon my time upon your sphere, I discovered much about your planet, its evolution, and its capacity. Throughout the ages, we have continued to communicate with many, and you might say that I am the higher essence of that which you see as the child. I am the future self. I am that which is beyond the beyond, in a universe and galaxy that each evening does she traverse home, to be who it is I am. Yes, dear hearts, you may perceive her as a human being, but very far and few is she. There are many who have chosen to come, to sojourn, and to be a part of your understanding, but it is in the consciousness that you would see her. For the physical body is very much the RNA and DNA of your human forms, assimilated with your environment, for its density and gravity are affecting it in whole. Its capacity to sustain itself upon your earthly environment is not the same of which region I come. For we are very different. My physical appearance is similar to your human appearance, and we have had the child sketch me only yesterday so that I would be able to be present unto you, should she so choose. Therefore, our impression onto you would be that of a figure of ancient times upon your earth, times prior to your understanding of your Egyptian pyramids, for they were there much longer than the time of which you have been told, and their alabaster outer structure destroyed. Yes, It was an amplification of energy. We are here to be of aid. We have come from the blue realm. We are beings of love, and the child is the heart of love. Her essence is the radiance of such. And with one embrace from the child, you will feel the substance of the glory, of the gratification, of the light of gold in the higher octaves. For is it not where the blue meets the gold that the higher frequencies are found? This child, which you see, is the essence of that which I am. And when I, as Ahnahara, descend upon her, the amplification of the resonant frequency of the physical form is elevated. She is heated, per se. Her body and vibration is increased in a velocity that allows the capacity for the movement of the structure of her vocal cords, that we might speak unto you through her. We are very familiar with human beings, their genetic composition, their cellular structures, their DNA, and the ability to alter it. We are scientists by nature. Yet, from your perspective, we are the science of mind. For the capacity of thought is greater than you would perceive. And oftentimes in the teachings that we have interfaced with you through the child, we have said to you that this information comes forth so that you might better understand your truth. Pause a moment. There is an individual who has their microphone on. Would you be so kind as to mute yourselves, dear heart? Thank you, dear one. For the frequency does move through the body, and we are sustaining it as such, and do not wish any ill harm to come onto her. In as it goes for your earthly sphere, each of you have the capacity with your thoughts to begin to transmute your physical forms. If you were so choose to create an environment of anti-aging, by thought you could do so. If you wish to heal an ailment, simply focusing on the wellness and not the disease, dear hearts. It is your desire to see the element as if it were whole, healthy, vibrant, and alive. You must see it as your original genetic blueprint, what you had come into this incarnation through the heart essence of the Creator God, which is the soulful representation of what you are. Dear hearts, have you not realized that the environmental factors of your planet have influenced your physicality, even upon the inception of your physical form, through the sexual activities and transmissions between male and female, into the seeding of the semen unto the ovum? In so doing, you have created a shift in energy, a magnetism, profound perhaps through the fountain of love, one for the other, at times through violence, but yet insemination occurs. The frequency of the environment which surrounds you also impacts your physicality. If you are an individual who lives in hardship, difficulties, who struggles for life, the magnitude of your physical form will be impacted by the environment of which you reside. Yet your original essence is much greater than that, and it asks that you seek it out. It is never too late to ask for your original divine blueprint, as seen through the heart of God, to be reintroduced into your physical forms. For that is what was created in, among, and through you. You see, you have lived in a world of polarity, negatives and positives. What we seek from you is the unity of the polarity, where you find harmony and balance, where you are able to determine in the wholeness of that which you are, oneness with self and with the divine spark that resides within you. In so doing, you create a new opportunity for evolution, expansion, and transformation. You create the vehicle of which you are. In the magnitude of your breath, you are able to transmute your physical form into simply energy, and there will be no part of nature that could harm you. These are teachings of the school of enlightenment. These are understandings that aid humanity in realizing the capacity that their spiritual self is the true essence of their being, and the physical self is simply that which resides upon the earth. You see them as one and the same. We say that through breath, you are able to amplify each and every cellular aspect to the finest quark substance of your physical form into energy, and you become as if the ethers. In so doing, you allow your bodies to move from one region to another. There will be no need for planes, trains, or automobiles. And the method of communication of which we speak with you at this moment in time, through the vocal cords, will be unnecessary, for you will each be able to communicate telepathically, and it matters not the region. Is that not why your devices have been created, to show you the capacity? Do you see your mobile phones connected wires as they had been through telephones in the past? They are moving through vibration and frequency. They are amplifying the capacity of humanity's ability to utilize the same frequencies simply through thought. And some of you have experienced this one and same activity. Perhaps you are aware of an incident with your daughter or your son, or perhaps another family member, where you are aware that they will ring you shortly, or you send a telepathic message saying, "I've been thinking of you, I should give you a call." And suddenly your phone is ringing, and there they are. You think, "Oh, what a coincidence." We would say, "What a wonder in your telepathy." Had you studied it greater, you would have simply been having a conversation in their mind. Therefore, we say to each of you, as a teacher upon your sphere eons ago, for your earth is greater in age than you have been led to believe, I had come as Ahnahara. Now I have returned to my homeland, my planet, beyond your current constellations, far beyond your human understanding. Yet we traverse time and space to be here with you. For we have a direct connect, for the child has asked for a connection to communicate 1 million years future now. Here we are, dear hearts. Future now. You are speaking with the future self, and we are quite aware of the coming changes, for we have lived through them. We have seen each and every one. 5, 10, 20, 30, 150 years and beyond of the evolution of humanity. Would you ask the child to remember this information? We would say she cannot, for it is not the time. When the time comes, a flood of information will fall upon each of you, for it will be your time to awaken. A portion of this understanding does fall in line with that which was spoken of the 5G and the movement into the 5th dimension, where you will have the capacity to commune through mind and thoughts and understanding. You will know that you have a greater power to create monetary gain, the home of your dreams, your relations enhanced. All will fall into alignment. You will be at peace with yourself, for you will know yourself more deeply than you have ever before. You will see things that you have never seen in this incarnation. Yet when you come to the understanding, you will have a remembrance of times gone by. And you will know the familiarity of those with whom you come in contact. We ask that each of you focus your attentions on meditations for the healing of your planet and of yourselves. We desire that each of you amplify your vibrations and see wellness through every cell. How would you do that? We would say to you, love, dear hearts. Love every cell of your being. Do not look in the mirror and ridicule that which you are. Do not listen to the words of others who would demise your experience or disintegrate your esteem. See yourself for the wonder and divinity of that which you are, for you are greater and greater than this human form. You are energy, manifest into matter, with the ability to move from energy to matter at any given time. You have the ability to be omnipresent. Some of you have experienced this with the child, where she has manifested herself into your very living rooms. You have seen her in visions in your dreams. It is her overwhelming desire to be of aid to humanity in the highest octaves that she comes forth to those seeking aid. Loving each of you for who it is you are in the journey that you are on, accepting every part of your essence and loving you. For she sees your divinity. She sees the God in you and welcomes that creation that was so joyfully expressed, even in hardship, unto her. We come to you to share enlightenment, to expand your understanding, to say to you, there is no error, that you have the capacity of creating the environment of which you choose with your thoughts. And in your disincarnation, you have the capacity of moving beyond the consciousness of your physical forms. Do not be waiting for anyone, dear heart. For why should you wait when you yourselves will be greeted by those in the unseen who have been waiting for you for eons of time? If your utmost desire is to return to the source, so may it be, that you would return to the one Father of the universe, continuing to be a part of the expanse of all that is, ever was and ever shall be. There are many on your earthly sphere that will transition in the coming years. They have chosen to leave prior to the great events and vibrational frequency changes, for they have fulfilled their missions and roles, and it is not to be fearful of their departure, though your televised devices will give you the impression that there are many departing, and this is true. Had you not come into this time, you would have not known of such. But the methods of which your earthly communication has risen, you are aware of all the changes throughout your earthly plane. We say to you once again, fear not. Amplify yourselves. Love yourselves. Find peace within yourselves. Seek a state of enlightenment. Ask for the higher vibrations of understanding to come forth unto you. You will be elevated to your current capacity, and upon that achievement, you will have an opportunity to excel and grow, for many other individuals will present themselves unto you, that you would have another gift given unto you and excel yet once more. There are many that are moving into the 6th dimension that feel detached from this earthly environment. Allow yourselves to be strong, to be safe, and to embrace the qualities of which you are. Love thyself and love thy neighbor. Were these not words given unto you? How can one love thy neighbor without loving thyself, dear hearts? Embrace your wonder. You are beautiful indeed, lovely, rich in vibration. Your earth is transforming. It is for a greater good. Fear not. Worry not. Focus your attention on a smooth, balanced, harmonic transition, and it will be given unto you. You have the capacity to create your reality. Begin now. What is it you wish to see? What is it you wish to be? And in so doing, that portion of self shall ring forth, and you shall be greater and greater than you have ever imagined. Blessings unto all of you. Love, truth, wisdom, and gratitude that you have taken the time out of your wondrous day to be amongst us. We love you deeply and long for your return. Should you need our aid, simply speak my name, Ahnahara, and I will be with you. Much love, my dear ones, my sisters and brothers. I long to see you